You know, it's so sad all of this had to happen as kids were in the house. But anyway, what is this? Probably the same guy in there. Y'all can go ahead and mute that guy. Uh, really terrible. You know, it sort of speaks to the need for therapy and why this level of isolationism is dangerous and harmful when it comes to men that have these violent tendencies. You know, and all of this could have been prevented. All this could have been prevented had he had some level of support for his mental health. It's really the scariest thing about it. But yeah, both of the kids were home. Both of the teenage kids are now orphaned. And it's not yet known whether or not they'll be going into a foster system or a relative can take them in or whatever the case may be. But it's really, really sad, really scary that this all happened. Let's see what else we've got in the news here. Covered that. Trump nominates a former Coast Guard doctor as CDC chief. President Trump has nominated Dr. Erica Schwartz, who served as Deputy Surgeon General in his first administration, to serve as the next director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The nation's embattled public health agency has been without a confirmed leader for all but a month of Trump's second term. Erica graduated from Brown University for college and medical school and served a distinguished career as a doctor of medicine in the United States military, the greatest, most powerful force in the world, and then served as my deputy surgeon general during my first term. She is a star, Trump posted on Truth Social. He also announced 3 additional executive appointments. Sean Slavinsky, a former Walmart executive, as the CDC director. Why? As the CDC deputy director, and chief operating officer, Dr. Jennifer Shufford is the Texas Health Commissioner as deputy director and chief medical officer, and Dr. Sarah Brenner, a top deputy at the Food and Drug Administration, as senior counselor for public health to the health secretary. This is one of the rare times I'd say that she's probably competent for her job. One of the rare times that I can make that assessment. She is a proponent of vaccines and of the vaccine schedule and of mRNA research. So I won't discredit her too quickly. And she's black, so little sus, but I'm going to hear her out. I want to see that she does a good job and can at least mitigate the fuck ups and damage from the HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy. A 10-day ceasefire agreed on by Israel and Lebanon goes into effect. A 10-day truce began in Lebanon on Friday that could pause fighting between Israel and the Hezbollah militant group and boost attempts to extend the ceasefire between Iran, the United States, and Israel after weeks of devastating war. U.S. President Donald Trump announced the agreement as a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. However, Israel has not been fighting with Lebanon itself, but rather with the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants inside the country, who are not formally part of the agreement. Barrages of gunshots rang out across Beirut as residents fired into the air just after midnight to celebrate the beginning of the truce. Displaced families began moving towards southern Lebanon and Beirut's southern suburbs, despite warnings by officials not to attempt to return to their homes until it has become clear whether the ceasefire would hold. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he agreed to the ceasefire to advance peace efforts with Lebanon, but said Israeli troops would not withdraw. Israeli forces have engaged in fierce battles with Hezbollah in the border area as they pushed into southern Lebanon to create what officials have called a security zone. Netanyahu, in his video address, said it extends 10 kilometers or 6 miles into Lebanon. Hezbollah said that Israeli occupation of our land grants Lebanon and its people the right to resist it, and this matter will be determined based on how developments unfold, a stance that could complicate the ceasefire. No, RFK is not being replaced. This is the CDC that he's nominating someone who's presumably competent. RFK is HHS, which, by the way, if you guys hadn't heard, there was an interview recently released which suggests that RFK severed the penis of a dead raccoon in order to study it for reasons unclear to me. But that's making its rounds. He was asked about that. on his way to a congressional hearing today. Now, he chuckled, and that chuckle is awfully suspicious. If someone says that shit like, "Hey, RFK, didn't you write a recipe for elephant testicles?" And he goes, "That's not a no. That's kind of concerning. Did you do it or not?" That's probably how RFK laughs. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I'm gonna bust a gut. Okay, calm down. It's not that funny, please. It's trying to scare me. But guy needs to go to jail. Is it true he did? Yes. His children were in the car when it happened. Guy needs to go to jail, or at least be investigated for his numerous animal rights abuses. I don't care if it's dead. That shit's goddamn nasty. And inhumane. When I see dead animals, the last thing I want to pick apart is its penis, let alone anything else on it. But come on now, that's just goddamn gross. It's just unsanitary. It's unhealthy. What else is in the news today? What else? News. Let's see. That's all the main story. A progressive wins in the New Jersey House race to replace Mickey Sherrill, the governor who recently was elected. Analia Mia, or Maya, Analia Maya, a progressive Democrat, has won in a special election to replace Mickey Sherrill. Good. Democrats just keep on winning. Isn't that interesting? That's a nice name, Analia. Analila. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Pope says the world is being ravaged by a handful of tyrants amid his feud with Trump's White House. He's not wrong. Pope Leo has said that the world is being ravaged by a handful of tyrants who spend billions on war, in comments that will be seen as another sharp escalation in his almost week-long feud with the White House over the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. The first American-born pontiff did not mention Donald Trump by name, but used his speech in Cameroon on Thursday to denounce world leaders that invoke religion to justify violence against other nations. His comments came as U.S. bishops offered their full-throated support to the head of the Catholic Church, who has been under fire from Trump for days after speaking out against the Iran war. Woe to those who manipulate religion and the very name of God for their own military, economic, and political gain, dragging that which is sacred into the darkness and filth, Leo told a gathering at St. Joseph Cathedral in Western City, Bamenda. They turn a blind eye to the fact that billions of dollars are spent on killing and devastation, yet the resources needed for healing, education, and restoration are nowhere to be found. That's true, by the way. The full-scale divestment in this latest Republican budget towards education and health and international stability is being used to fuel the $1.5 trillion budget, military defense budget that this administration has proposed. I don't know why Trump has Catholics that support him. That's beyond me. But Mike Johnson and J.D. Vance supporting this, not being able to find some humanity and say, hey, the head of the Catholic Church probably shouldn't be called weak on crime. And how is he weak on crime if he's calling out your war crimes? Just a thought. What's this? Did you hear anything about the black man that found strange fruit outside of a police station? What's that? Let's see. You see, police station. I can't find anything about that.